thinking particularly about the Jubilee, the year when all debts are cancelled and called off, where all people are set free from slavery, where the people of God give thanks for all that he has done. So, at the end of every 7 years, you must cancel debts.
One of the things that Reagan put into place was the fact that there should be nothing for free.
Now, some people get themselves into financial trouble because of really bad choices. And other people get into debt through a series of unfortunate events.
So the average person lives in a time when his or her existence is just calculated as a series of profit-making and profit-taking possibilities for financial and highly capitalized
What I love about this
monopolies.
particular passage is that it makes it clear that all people in debt have their debts cancelled. It doesn't say those who have a legitimate reason, but those who have any reason, whether it was their fault or not. Their debts are cancelled. The slate is wiped clean. It's a fresh start for all people every 7 years. Could you imagine?
Are huge numbers of people who've been living on Social Security because they have disabilities and they actually can't work. A good and prosperous, rich society should be able to take care of people of all abilities, but instead we had a kind of anti-redistributive economic outlook from both the left and the right. The right, of course, says, people who are rich should just keep getting richer. Then their expenditures can trickle down to the people who are poor. The left said, or the liberal left said, white people have too much privilege, men have too much stuff. We should just take from them and redistribute to the minority representatives who have college educations, who can be promoted to reflect diversity on this very high social scale.
This means that among God's people, there would never need to be a whole class of people who are permanently poor. We've talked before about the very few people in the world who control the overwhelming majority of resources. That is because our system allows, perhaps even encourages, the poor to get poorer and the rich to get richer.
The financialization of the American economy and its deindustrialization, along with the fall of the Soviet Union, produced an especially vicious form of capitalism, which I call gangster capitalism, you call it financialization. It's a kind of capitalism that oversees deindustrialization and the deterioration of workforce conditions.
In this instance, somebody who is in debt, a debt that they cannot pay off, they are able to go to the person that they owe to and say, I will effectively sell myself into your employment from now until the Jubilee. Of course, at the Jubilee, everyone gets to go free. So however long it is until that Jubilee year, let me come and work for you for 3 years or 4 years or 6 years, however long it is. Now, in that time, of course, the employer has to look after you, has to provide for you. And it is in their interests to see that you are well fed and looked after, because they want you to be able to work hard and do well. So at the end of that time, not only are your debts cleared and your obligations cancelled, but as well as that, it is the master's job to send you off with ample supply so that you will not be forced back into this situation again. Verse 13, when you release them, do not send them away empty-handed. Supply them liberally from your flock. Be generous, God is saying, from your threshing floor and your winepress. Give to them as the Lord your God has blessed you. And so, from the servant's perspective here then, they have protection, a roof over their head, they have provision, meals on the table, and they have the promise of freedom just around the corner. And not just freedom that means that the slate is wiped clean, but freedom that is so generous and lavish that the supplies of this slave are kind of revved up and ready to go.
As we looked at, slaves were provided with amenities, all of their bills paid, clothing, healthcare, retirement care. The equivalent modern wage would need to be closer to something like $30 an hour to get the equivalent in services that those slaves were receiving from their slave owners. And that's without even considering taxes, okay? And nobody on minimum wage is earning $30
Yet,
an hour.
at the same time, verse 11, we are told, but there always will be poor people in the land. It's a wonderful recognition there of the reality of life. There is more than enough to go around. There need be no poor. If you operate with honesty and integrity and generosity, there need be no poor among you. But there will be. And when you see people in need, this is how you are to treat them. This is how you are to love them. This is how you are to look after them. Just as God reminds his people here, give to others as the Lord your God has blessed you. So he would remind us today, wouldn't he? Because we are those who have not just had our debts cancelled, but have been gifted the endless resources of the righteousness of Christ. Jesus has dealt generously with us. And so we ought to be joyfully generous towards others as well.